What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the stream. Happy Monday to all of you, or whatever day it is for those of you out there watching this in the future. Welcome to some more Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment. We're going to continue on with case number 5. This is the Xbox Series X version of the game, which amazingly looks so much better because they have this feature called Auto HDR. So if you have an HDR capable TV, and then you're playing this game on your Series X, you're going to see a way better picture than if you were playing this on your Xbox X or Xbox One. Looks so much better. You know, the colors really shine and everything just looks so much better than it did on the original. Obviously, the PC is still the master kind of edition of this game, though, and I recommend you guys playing the PC version. But this game here I got pretty much because of Games for Gold. So Xbox is such a great company that they allow to have these types of games, and they put them on Xbox Games for Gold. So that's how I was able to get this. And there's so many other games on Xbox Games for Gold, as well as Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and all that stuff that just allow you to play so many great games. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this because, of course, this is going to be, I think, the toughest mission. If I'm not mistaken, I've heard people say that this one was pretty long and pretty tough, and there's a lot of outcomes. So I'm going to need all of your help here, okay? For those of you watching live, I'm going to need every single one of your help. I've got it on the lowest amount of delay. So there's only about a 3 or 4 second delay between the time I'm talking and what you guys see. So any help is going to greatly make this stream a lot better, because you know how I am with puzzles. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you are enjoying the streams that we're doing every single day. Hopefully you're getting something out of it. Hopefully it's something that you like to see continue on, as we've been trying to bring love back into this channel as much as possible this year. So and all that can be helped out by you guys liking, sharing, commenting, becoming members. There's a link in the description if you want to donate. Please use that link. Don't do a super chat. Super chat is great, but super chat and YouTube take a lot of money out of every single super chat that happens. So if you do decide to go ahead and help us out, it's much better if you just use the link in the description. Okay, it's pretty easy to use, and it goes directly into my PayPal. So otherwise, you can always become a member or a Patreon. Those help as well, and join our Discord. With all that out of the way, we got to say that every time. Again, I'm working on excuse me, I'm working on a end of video Patreon thing that I'm going to hopefully have done this week, which will showcase every single person that is a member. There's quite a lot of members on YouTube, and then every single person that is a Patreon on Patreon as well. So you'll have your day to shine there, and at the end of every video. And then I will also be saying some Patreons and some members' names for those of you that are going high and above beyond, doing the highest tier. You guys deserve to have your name put out there in every single video I do, and I want to give you that love and credit that you deserve. So with that being said, all of that out of the way, let's continue on with case number 5. This is the Kew Gardens drama. It's go time. Don't you love it how every time you start a stream, all of a sudden you've got phlegm in your throat? And it's the most disgusting thing to do when you're on stream, is to have something like that. And I do apologize, but sometimes my throat gets a little stuck. Nice to see you too, Gamer Nurse. Welcome.
Holmes,
Twitch subs as well, yes. I'll put that on there too.
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. I'm helping a minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers.
Hi, Rishit and Rusty, how you doing?
Watson, however did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, Admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
Since when did I become so transparent? Let us go.
Hello, Lord. How you doing? Not the bees! Not the bees! All right, so let's quit out of here. We got to do what we always do every single mission, which is look at the beautiful lady that has been staring at us for at least a couple of months now at this point. Come on. And then, of course, we've got to talk to Toby.
Oh dear, Toby. I wasn't aware that you were Watson's new literary agent.
First time watching live. Thanks for all the great videos. Well, thanks for watching, man. Hopefully you enjoy the stream, Rusty. Be a part of the chat. Talk to everybody. Get to know everybody. We want to build this community up, and the only way we can do that is everyone kind of, interacting with each other and just, making everyone's day brighter.
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
All right, so we're headed to Kew Gardens. Let's take a look at our objectives here. Find the stolen plants from the last exhibition at Kew Gardens. An unusual theft has taken place at the Royal Botanic Gardens, Kew. Holmes' investigation reveals a somber tale of deceit. Oops. There we go. That's right. So, yeah, tomorrow on Tuesday, depending on when you're watching, this could be different, of course. We'll have more Splinter Cell. I think we only have, like, maybe 2 or 3 cases left for Sherlock Holmes. Now, if you take a look, well, we're not going to see it because it loads pretty fast on the Series X, but the rollingness of the window is so hilarious. You can literally see that it's rolling on a circle.
Well, Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is beautiful. But are you really intent on investigating the theft of the plants?
Yes, of course.
What are we doing, Holmes?
You tell me, Watson, you're the smart
one.
one.
Us.
Don't touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer, and without turning it over this time. Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
I am afraid that it cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favor for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Martin Hamish. I am the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens, and that fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
They were rare and exceptional plants. We presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glass house. We only learned of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody saw anything.
No doors were forced?
No, but I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry, for there are no guards here.
Well, if you don't mind, we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glass house.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second, since Albert has nothing else to do. Albert, show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Only myself, but occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met, and Miss White.
So far, a simple case, a simple, like, whodunit thievery.
This is the place where the stolen plants were exhibited.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
What tragedy are you referring to?
The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn, he died here just 2 days ago.
We're very sorry. We were not aware. The 2 of you were good friends?
He was my father.
Oh dear. Our condolences. We should not be troubling you. Please do excuse us for the intrusion.
You say that he died here, in the large glass house?
Holmes?
Yes, just here, near the door to the colonial collection. He suffered a heart attack. Just like that. So suddenly. It was terrible. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here. If you need me, I'll be in the reserve. That's the room next to the front of the large greenhouse.
Of course, we understand.
All right, so we've somehow stumbled across a murder. Although technically, as of right now, it's not a murder. It's a heart attack, but it could be caused by something. Usually, if someone dies in a Sherlock Holmes game, it's because of murder. I don't know why I'm saying murder that way, but it just makes it more fun. All right, so let's check around.
The plants were here. All of them were stolen.
Do not touch.
Here is a list of the stolen plants.
Okay, so we have a lot of plants that were stolen. Of course, we'll do our search around here. I mean, I don't know what there is. Let's just make sure that we don't, that we leave no stone unturned.
According to Albert, this is where his father, Montague Dunn, was found dead.
His father? That was his father? Did I miss that? All right, lots of things to take a look at, so let's start.
Blood. This sign is broken. Something heavy was dropped upon it. Someone fell violently against this sign, and they were injured in the clash. Most likely a head wound. Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. Soil. It should have come from a flower pot. Soil. It should have come from a flower pot.
Okay, there's all kinds of things, but you had mentioned something. Can you go behind the exhibit? I'm gonna say no, that you can't. As you can see, there's no way to get behind there, so there you go. I just like helping. When people ask questions, I always try to accommodate them. All right, so as you can see, we've got all kinds of things to take a look at here.
The traces are thinner in some places. These boot marks are fresh. It appears as though someone was dragging their feet. The footprints reveal that someone staggered here.
And we know that, well, if he fell over, then that would be a stagger.
The esconsson was breached near the handle. The door was smashed at shoulder height. This door handle is new. It was recently changed. The door was forced from the inside of the Colonial Collection Room. The handle was changed afterwards.
I think we need to inspect the Colonial Collection Room.
This pot was broken fairly recently. A flower pot recently fell down from these shelves and was misplaced. All the clues around here are quite suspicious. I need my imagination to make sense of it all.
All right, so again, I don't see anything else around here as of right now. So what's that say? LB, I guess. We'll go in here first and take a look. I'm sure there's going to be some
Very
more.
strange. Half of the colonial collection is absent. The smell is strong. It is a detergent. This broken fragment was the result of a heavy blow. A fragment of marble, most likely chipped from a statue or sculpture.
Okay, we'll go RB. There could be something else.
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system.
Well, it doesn't look like I can look up, though.
These windows were perfectly cleaned. Part of this greenhouse was emptied and thoroughly cleaned.
Alright, so the colonial collection. Alright, so now let's just do LB. So someone broke the door, came in, and fell. Put his hand there. Knocked over the pot. Okay, so you can watch sequence, you can reset sequence, you can build the sequence.
No, it wasn't like that.
Determine the correct sequence of events based on the details that you have gathered. Well, I gotta figure this out. So there's 3 of them here, right? 1, 2, 3. There we go. A little confusing to get it to work.
This reconstruction reveals a disturbing fact. Montague Dunn damaged the door of the Colonial Collection Room.
He was in a panic, or the door was locked? Was it an accident, or a murder, I wonder?
Alright, so let's check out our things. We should have... Oh, we only have 2, so we know that they go together. Dune was trapped. Montague Dune was trapped in the Colonial Collection Room. He forced the door and died in the water lily greenhouse. Someone cleaned and emptied out only a part of the Colonial Collection. This is very suspicious, Watson. Perhaps it was intended to conceal certain evidence. Dun, dun, dun. We need to perform an autopsy on Montague Dune. The death is suspicious. Why had he forced the door of the Colonial Collection Room? Why has someone cleaned and emptied the room? It's a trap! Or a simple accident. Sorry, I usually get carried away when I see it's a trap on there. Alright, so with that being said, the next thing to do is to perform an autopsy. Let's make sure that there's nothing else.
These plants come from all the territories of the British Empire.
I'm not seeing anything else show up here. Oh.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Well, that's got to be it. I mean, it says that we're pretty much done. I mean, besides opening and closing this vent, there's really nothing that we can do. And I'll give once over here just to make sure. Fragments, nothing showing up. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and... We completed the Dune, met his death, examined the Colonial Collection, yes, the place where Dune is dead. Perform an autopsy and find the stolen plants from the Lax exhibition at Kew Gardens. Again, I'll do one more search around here. Alright, so it looks like everything is done here, unless there's... Nope. Alright, so I think that's it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to head back to our house. Now remember, guys, I'm always keen on having you all join in and help. So if you have any inclination of what you think is going on, you know, let us know and help us out here. Search rare plants in botany. Toxicity.
Here it is.
Okay.
Someone should take Toby for a walk. Have you found something interesting?
All right, so now let's go ahead and head to Scotland Yard. Now, if you know the ending of the case, don't obviously spew that out if you know who did it or anything like that. But if you're someone like me who hasn't played this case before, then you can have your own deductions or whatever and let everybody know. But if you know, don't let us know.
To take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy then.
All right, so we're heading in for autopsy.
A beautiful feather pen of a good make.
A letter to Mr. Wayne, director of Wayne & Sons Printing Company.
My friend, your posters for the great exhibition at Kew Gardens were very beautiful, but it was surely unnecessary to mention all of the staff. My name alone will be sufficient. Montague Dunn.
So he wanted all the credit, I guess.
A membership card for the London Crest Club. This watch is of great value.
Hey, look at you. That is awesome. Thank you so much to Karthik for the super chat. Happy Monday, Strain. Big fan of your AC walkthroughs. Thank you, bud. And thank you again for the super chat. Again, guys, I know some of you may have not have heard it, but the best way if you're going to donate is to use that link in the description where it says Stream Elements and PayPal. That is going to be the best. But thank you, my friend. Alright, so we have an autopsy to uncover. This might get a little gruesome.
First of all, let us carry out an external examination.
Look at the face first.
There is an injury to the skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse.
Clearly.
The vessels and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal. The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma. No redness, stings, or bruises. Nothing suspicious here. There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination so that we can proceed with the autopsy. Now, let us examine the internal organs.
Oh boy, here we go. Thanks for making it very casual, Watson. Oh gosh. Well, at least they didn't decide to make this realistic. I feel like we're in an educational kids thing about anatomy right now. All right, I guess let's check out the heart first.
The heart's blood vessels show no pathological signs.
Oops.
The heart tissue shows no visible pathological signs.
That easy to pull out lungs, huh?
The lungs are congested and edematous. The tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is damaged, most probably caused by toxins from an unknown plant.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards plant poisoning, yeah.
The liver is enlarged.
Hey, Atta.
It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction. The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible pathological signs. The stomach tissues show no visible pathological signs. There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly, only a short while before his death. My suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning. Plant poisoning, to be more exact.
You mean
Yes, it is murder.
Murder!
we should inform Lestrade?
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
Murder of any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No, we also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
No. A few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs. Yes, Watson, it is time now to open the doors.
Dun, dun, dun.
Even those in the staff building. I suppose that is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
More than a little.
Okay, so what do we have here? We have 3. So we got poisoning. So he was poisoned in there, so that would work. Dune was poisoned after being trapped in the Colonial Collection room by the killer. Montague, I love that. Dune was affected by inhaling a virulent vegetal poison. We got, I think, another one, yeah. Poisoning and the daily plant stolen. Could they have a connection? The killer may be those who stole the exotic plants, including the species from the last exhibit at Kew Gardens. How is that possible? We're going to have to deduct. I am the master of deducting, of deducing. I love a good deduce. All right, so we need to head back to. So we need to find the stolen plants, find a plant that was used to kill the guy, inspect Kew Garden staff buildings and gather information, and find out who killed Mr. Montague. It's pronounced done. Okay. Well, you've got UK in your name, so I'm gonna go with what you say, because you probably know more than I do. So Montague done, right? Ooh, yes. Let's get a Dude, this guy's glasses, I don't know, man. They're awesome. Look at them things, man. Like, they're way more like they look so freaking cool. Myopic, inexpensive glasses. You're telling me that these are inexpensive? These look like they would cost so much because of how intricate they are and the things that they do, you know? But that's just me. I'm weird, I guess. He's got a dirty collar because he's a dirty, dirty boy. Naughty. He's a very naughty boy. No wedding ring. He's unmarried, so he doesn't have a woman telling him that he's wrong all the time. Because usually when you're married, you know, your wife is always telling you how wrong you are. Which is usually correct. In Gardner's hands. Alright, here we go.
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
Albert told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
But it wasn't a heart attack. It was poison and murder.
Sorry. Get a little carried away.
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression. Great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
Do I sense a hint of jealousy? What's this here?
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say? He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That
And
he had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
Oh, chérie. My
tell me,
chérie,
Mr.
my...
Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Alright, so now we need to, I guess, come over here.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Sure, let me look around first, and then you can help me. Alright, character profile first. He's only got 3. He's got red eyes. He's wept. Obviously, it was his father, right? He's consumed by grief. Shaving cut. Clean hands. Well, for a gardener, he's got clean hands? Well, he's a helper, but maybe not necessarily a gardener. I don't know.
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
Was it the large glass house on the left? Oh, sorry. Quips, jokes, puns.
Do you work here?
Yes, but part-time only, for I'm also studying botany at the University of London.
You're following in your father's footsteps, then. That is commendable.
Well, even if botany is not my strongest suit, there are people who say that I could be a good manager.
What is that there? We got tipped. Nice. We got our first tip on using the actual link. So thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate it. Awesome. I'm glad that that actually showed up and worked, because I was hoping that it would show up and, you know, actually work, and it looks like it did. So thank you so much. I got it. Awesome. Thank you so much, bud.
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah, At the moment, I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
I appreciate it. Like, my plan is to have it to have some, like, when those things come up on the screen, is to have like actually some really cool snake sound effects, like Metal Gear Solid stuff coming up. I still got to work it a little bit, but it's going to be pretty cool. So that way, when anybody donates or super chats or becomes a member or subscribes to the channel, then you'll be able to get your name up there and it'll show you. But not too much in the way of getting in the way of anything else, you know?
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens, and I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the deputy director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the deputy director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? That is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honour of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. That my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
All right, so we got some clues that we can put together. Another one with poisoning, huh? Obviously, deadly plants stolen and poisoning. No, I guess not. Albert's ambition? No, okay. That's maybe ambitioning and poisoning. Well, it said we had something. No. 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 Usually when it always says +1, it means that we have something. But I guess we do not. Okay.
Farmhouse.
We'll take a look through here. I don't know if there's any... What button? I can't remember. There's a button that allows you to... There it is. It's B. Go to first person. Well, from what I can see, there's really nothing in here.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Oh my gosh, how big? Oh, this leads into that. Oh, they're all connected. Okay, I didn't even realize that. And we've, of course, we have already done every single one of this, so I don't think there's really anything else here to check out.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Again, just trying to grab everything I can.
Dry tropics. These flower pots are beautiful. They are intended to be used for exhibition purposes. The symbol is not from Kew Gardens. Dry tropics.
This area is a lot bigger than
There
I
is a
originally...
smell of burning.
Ooh.
The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
I don't know how that says my controller battery is low. It shouldn't be. How did that get that low that fast? It was literally like halfway full. Okay, give me just a quick sec. I'm so sorry about this. I need to plug in. Shouldn't take too long. And there we go. All right. Just had to plug it in, plug it in. Totally Brandon's fault, for sure. All right, so there's still more to look.
The remains of a picture frame. A broom handle was half burned.
That's it. Witches did it. We figured it out.
A door handle? Why would anyone throw such a thing in the fire? The door handle to the colonial collection and that of the fireplace are made of the same material.
Dun, dun, dun.
A protective mask. Someone set it alight, but it did not burn. The plants were set alight fairly recently. Some have not completely burned.
All right, that was a lot of stuff right there. Oh, look at these old lawnmowers. It's crazy. It's cray cray. Okay, nothing else in here.
Look, Holmes, this charming lady must be Miss White. She's entering the seed house.
Director's office, cloakroom, and laboratory.
And reserve is over here.
Farmhouse. Nursery. Colonial collection. Seed house. Ventilation system.
You are here.
Dry tropics. Water lily greenhouse.
Well, wouldn't it tell me if we're done? So there's got to be something else. Nursery, seed house, relation there. I don't see anything else. Usually it'll go automatically out when you have found. There it is. Reserve.
Reserve.
Still something else. I mean, maybe that's it. No, see, it's telling me that there's still something else there. All the top.
A map of Kew Gardens.
It's the most simplest of things, and it won't. Object. Whoa. Object of interest. I wonder why that says object of interest. Huh. All right. Well, anyways, let's head over to the seed house. Hello, Matke. How you doing?
Seed house. Open.
Open. Gonna look around first, in case we have any questions that we find that we can
about
ask her.
ships. Nothing at all to do with plants. These leather gloves are new and of good quality. They do not appear to have been used.
Well, welcome, Oki. It's great to have you here, bud.
Materials for college study. They belong to Albert. This place serves as Albert's office.
I do say, Watson, you make a better door than you do window. Well, we know what's on James' mind.
You have some very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir. And good day to you, too. But
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White.
She did it. You can tell.
Excuse me,
Look at her
but
eyes.
are you Sherlock Holmes, the great
She even knows who I
detective?
am. She did it.
I am he.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens. Are you working on a case?
Oh boy, did she do it. Look at her. You can just tell by the way that she looks. It's just like, hello, I'm the killer. I'm smarter than you, Mr. Holmes, and you're never gonna figure it out, you know, because I'm so much smarter than you. That's the vibe she gives off to me right now. Expensive perfume. She thinks she's the bee's knees. A moly, 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 moly. Ooh. Expensive paste maelstration, Pelagria, poor family. See, she wanted to get rich off of the plants. I mean, yeah, oh yeah, this is her. This is totally her. She's the killer. She's the killer. Unmarried. Boom. Right there. How can a woman that beautiful not be married? See? Instant murderer. She can't be married because the game is like, you're a murderer and you're going to jail, so we're not going to let you be married. I don't know, I'm just kidding.
A theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh, yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
Oh, she forgot about it? Come on. Someone steals like these amazing rare plants and you're going to tell me you forgot about it? Give me a break.
Oh, it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants, miss, after the tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man. It is such a terrible misfortune.
Oh my god, the sound of her voice. She's got no remorse. Did you see how her voice immediately changed to like being very like, oh yes, the master, he was such a good man. I killed him. You know, I mean, come on.
Would you happen to know why part of the colonial collection was cleared?
No, I have never been there.
Ooh, he was a ladies' man, so maybe she was one of his ladies. Maybe he was getting with someone else, and she did not like it, and she was like,
Do you work here?
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Montague Dunn. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature?
Oh yes, indeed. He was always so active and so optimistic and very nice to me. Although he could behave harshly towards his son.
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert, who is naturally shy, suffered because of it.
look at her setting up the other guy. Do you see how she's doing that?
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key to this room?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies without disturbing him. It is only temporary.
Thank you, miss. None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the colonial collection was cleared. So, someone is lying. It is obvious.
Kew Gardens is such an exciting place. Wouldn't you agree?
You wouldn't say that after a murder just happened. Come on. Dude, this is so obvious. Throw me a freaking bone here. What do we got here? The nursery.
Locked.
Ooh, it was the baby that did it. It's the baby. Well, everything's already done. Although it says object of interest, and that's got me very interested as to why. Yeah, we need to go to the ventilation system. Where is the office? You keep saying something about an office. Seat house, ventilation system. Director's office is 1 past the nursery. So if we are here, we need to keep going this way. Well, actually here, since we're on this side, let's go ahead and check out the ventilation system. It was the dingo and the baby.
A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings.
Object of interest.
A water tank.
Okay, so my guess is... Let me see what I've got here. Let's see if we picked up anything else. No, we still have the same thing. Nothing added on. Let's head over to the office. First of all, let's make sure that... See if that is something that it kind of wants us to do or not. Find the stolen plants, find the plants, inspect key garden, staff buildings, find out who killed, yada yada. Here, as you can see, some of the evidence can be used in the investigation and will be marked specific items. Search archives for that, and search archives for that. So we can also go back to our Baker Street. Man, this place is a lot bigger than I originally assumed. Okay, what's that right there? The nursery. I don't think we can get in.
Locked. Nursery. Locked.
What?
Locked.
Is he not gonna let us in?
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before. And now all of a sudden he's trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
Jealousy!
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was?
Oh, yes. He forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who is such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And why, he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Before I do that, because I like to mix things up a little bit, let's go ahead and let's go to Baker Street real quick. I love how you can go back and forth and do all of this. You see what I mean? If you look in that window, it's like on a rolling thing. It's so funny. But in this version, it doesn't go long enough for you to be able to see where it proves that. All right. So we need to search. Okay, research. Search the symbol of the broken pot. Search the symbol of... That's research letters, so it must be... I don't think it would be in newspapers, and... I could be encyclopedias, but I'm going to go with research. Okay, so here we go. Symbol on a broken flower pot found in the backyard. The symbol is not from Kew Gardens. The glyph means divine, if I am not mistaken. Chemistry, poisons and toxins. Wounds and injuries. The divine, right there. The members of this syndicate worship Triren, the god king. They strive to obtain spiritual peace and release themselves from the material world. So generous donations are appreciated.
Here it is. The Divine Syndicate is not a supplier to Kew Gardens. Besides, there is no address here.
Search the symbol of the exhibition pot. Marks and symbols. London Garden Supplies, maybe?
Here it is.
Yep. Was that it? Is that all we needed to do? Let me look. Yep. 3 Button Road, gardening equipment, clay pots, accessory tools. Alright, so it's probably given us another place to... No, it hasn't actually. Let's go back to the Kew Gardens. There's just so much. Open the deduction. We still got nothing that we can do as of right now, so not a lot of clues so far as we're still building and opening the case. Alright, so we need to go back and speak to Albert because he is going to have key that we need.
Tell me, have you ever heard of the Divine Syndicate?
No, I cannot say that I have.
Do you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Alright, so we can go into the office and nursery. Why don't... I feel like the office is going to have a lot of really, really good stuff, so why don't we just go ahead and check out the nursery first?
Locked.
Heck does this place have a nursery anyways?
This poster is for an exhibition that Martin Hamish was directing. but it had nothing to do with Kew Gardens. This certificate belongs to Martin Hamish. He won a horticultural competition. We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window. A thesis written by Martin Hamish. A glasses case. It is empty. This area serves as Martin Hamish's office.
You hear that?
An award presented to Martin Hamish for Best Grower of the Year. A master's degree diploma. It belongs to Martin Hamish. We can see the interior of the Colonial
Oh, okay,
Collection
so that's
Room
just
from
that's
this
what that
window.
was. I was wondering.
These young plants must be delicate if they are kept in the nursery. The seeds of plant species are stored here.
What should we do next, Holmes?
You should get out of my way, Watson.
Locked.
All right. So I think there might be something that we can say to her. Let's see. Yep, I knew it. About the relationship. Oh, no, I
The
guess.
Divine Syndicate. Does that name mean anything to you, by any chance?
Not at all. But it is a very pretty name.
Thank you, miss.
We've checked everything in here. I'm pretty sure there's nothing else. Okay. So let's check the office now, finally.
Locked. This is a table for experiments. It resembles my own.
Only this one is kept in good order, Holmes. A phonograph used for voice recording. Remarkable.
Yes, this is quite a modern laboratory.
And it seems clear from these multiple experiments that plants do respond to their environment and have a form of consciousness. Margaret White, February 1895. Report number 245.
Study report.
Martin Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal, yet I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
A study report by Martin Hamish.
Evidence required. Okay. So what that tells me is that we're going to find something. A cylinder somewhere.
Chemicals. A sufficient quantity for some serious experiments. a botany book. This student's book belongs to Albert. Such masks are generally worn when dealing with toxic chemicals. Gloves, waterproof aprons, everything one might need for self-protection.
Do they grow dangerous plants here?
It appears as though the protective equipment is missing from here.
And we know where that is.
There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance that pervaded the laboratory. Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around.
Gold dust? Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks, so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
But why would anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. The bottle is no longer here, but it is possible to detect a faint scent. We need a good nose.
And we know exactly where to get that good nose, don't we? So we need to bring in Toby. Toby! Or not Toby? That is the question.
Locked.
Holmes, Albert Dunn didn't give us the key to this door.
It does not matter. We will open it.
Ooh, we get the mystery of this. Oh, these things are so... You guys know how bad I am at these. Okay, let's start with the outside one. Just want to match up this first. We need to, hold on, LT rotates all. There we go. Oh, snap. Okay, it's one of those. This is weird. Oh my god, this is going to be so hard. What are we gonna do? Oh my gosh, this is tough. I'm trying to look here. So like I said, I was trying to match up the one on the very end into that one, and those match up pretty well. Okay, this is gonna take me a while. You guys know how I am with this. Oh, okay. I'm so confused. But I'm thinking it's got to go in one of these holes, right? Which one is the question? That's looking that could be... Oh, there's another one right here too. Okay, so what do we got so far? There's got to be something that matches that. Got it. Yes! That was a... Woo.
Open. Albert's locker. Specialist articles on shipyards and ship construction. Albert Dunn has a great passion for shipbuilding and the sea. A rejection letter from the British Royal Naval College. A picture of Miss White and Albert in front of the University of London.
And they seem to get along.
Martin Hamish's locker. A review on rare and exotic plants. Martin Hamish has written several pieces.
Mr. General Secretary, recent events unfolded at the Kew Gardens oblige me to renew my application for the management position. As I have stated already in my previous letters, I believe that no one is better suited for this post. While Mr. Montague Dunn was alive, I understood your reservation to my suggestion. Your reasons were political, and so I was happy to comply. But now the Kew Gardens lie in disorder. How can I stand by and allow it? How can I leave them in the hands of inexperienced people with no motivation? I must urge you to cast your decision as a matter of urgency, so that I may devote myself entirely to the noble tasks ahead, and free my mind from this uncertainty.
Martin Hamish studied chemistry. Interesting.
Okay, so there's something else. Oh, photograph.
Father and I. Kew Gardens. Miss White's locker. These jewels must be worth a small fortune. Apparently, Miss White is a capable student. A draft of the letter that Miss White sent to her parents.
Dear Mother and Father, I am writing this letter with reluctance to ask for your help. My studies and my housing costs have proven to be more expensive than I had anticipated. I fear, therefore, that I might not be able to manage in the long term. I know that we have had our disagreements in the past, but would you be so heartless as to allow your daughter to fall for studies due to lack of money?
Sorry. I know that sounded nothing like her, but you just, you gotta roll with it sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Dear Margaret, I know how your financial troubles are overwhelming you at this present time. Please let me reassure you that I cannot permit you to retain in such a dilemma. I was born of a wealthy family. I would consider it an honor if you might accept my help. All I require is some of that bouteille. Your devoted servant, Albert.
A vanity purse. It is of high quality.
Margaret, we were surprised to receive your letter. How could you think to us for money? How could you think to ask us for money? After all these years that have passed since you've left, without any thought of us? You have never shared with us any detail of your success at the university, but you choose to do so now? We suppose you must be ashamed of us, for we are not from the same high class as your new friends. Yes, we are modest people, but you should learn to put your family first, as we at home have always done. And none of us ever compromise their reputation, as it appears you have already with your employer, Mr. Dunn. No, Margaret, it is you who makes us feel ashamed. Your parents.
Yeah, I sometimes have a little too much fun doing that stuff. You remember when I did that? I think was one of the first games I did that for was Dishonored, way back when. I think that was one of the first games I did voices for. All right, so we have got Albert's Ambition, we got Mrs. White's Family, we got Deadly Plainstorm, we got White's Studies. No, I just like doing this. Okay, so nothing goes to White's Studies. Albert's Ambition, it can only go to Mrs. White's Family. Nope. Deadly Plant Stolen, Mrs. White. Nope. Poisoning, Mrs. White's Family. Nope. So that's done. That's done. That's done. That's done. Wow, we have nothing that matches up right now. All right, so we have a lot of people probably to talk to. So let's see here. We've got this dialogue, so we need to talk to Martin. We've got this dialogue, but he was rejected. We need to talk to Albert. The keys, a set of keys to open all doors except the one to the cloakroom. But we've opened all doors, though, now, haven't we? No, there's still technically one door we haven't opened. Find a use for the fragment picked up from the floor of the collection room. By its form, refinement is probably part of a statue or sculpture. So we need to find a statue or a sculpture. Also, we need to find a cylinder.
Locked.
All right, here we go. So this is another office. There's how many offices are there? All right, so we got the director's safe. This must be his actual office.
Champagne. Montague Dunn had good taste. French wine. A remarkable vintage. Newspapers discussing Kew Gardens.
Yeah, a lot of people don't read the title for some reason. They just come into the stream. I mean, that's what a title is there for. It's pretty obvious. How do you even click on it without reading it? All right, here we go. This is Montague Dunn. Let's see, what voice would he have? I feel like he would be sophisticated with a little bit of assholery. So let's try this. My dearest Margaret,
Following our last conversation, I believe it might be better if we vacate your position here at Kew Gardens. As you pointed out quite bluntly, you are no longer in need of my support. You are quite able to stand up for yourself in this world, as you say. Well, I give you back your freedom and wish you nothing but good luck. Montague Dunn.
All right, so clearly we got motive right there now.
A photograph of Montague Dunn and Reynold Hamish.
Ooh, we got another safe cracking. All right. Huh? What am I supposed to do? Whoa, okay, I'm confused. So I did that one. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. I like this. What? So it was 3? Three, then 1, 2, 3 there. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm gonna guess there. God, this is hard. You guys need to help me remember this. Oh, so it was 3 there, because I cannot remember this. 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. I think it's going to be 1. Nope. Dang it. So it's 1, 2, 3 on that side. All right. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So is it going to be this one or is it going to be that one? Oh, it is. Okay. Nope. Dang it. It was 3. My God, this is crazy. How on earth is anyone equal on both sides in +1 always? I don't know what that means. So 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And this one is 1, 2, 3. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one is 4. Oh, I see what you're saying. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, gotcha. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. That's 5. That was 5. You see how I didn't do that? Unless I did it wrong. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, two, three, four, 5. Very interesting. See, this is said by Montague, so we got to go back into Montague. What was his voice again?
My dear friend, please allow me to express my disappointment upon reading your last letter. I am paying you to defend me, not to accuse me. Kew Gardens is a royal institution. We are granted the great opportunity to travel the world to see the most extraordinary, precious, and rare species of plants. Our duty is to protect such species and from those who might wish to use them for dubious purpose. This divine syndicate of whom you speak have no right to hold such precious plants. Remember the case of June 14th, 1889? So I must respectfully ask you once again to notarize the permissions on these plants on behalf of Kew Gardens. The document was sent to you on Monday. P.S. See you in Boodles on Tuesdays, as always. Montague Dunn.
Letter of complaint. This is by the Divine... Okay, if I was a Divine Syndicate, I would act snotty, broodery, like I'm the cool place to be. This is where you want to hang out, because we're the Divine Syndicate. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Dunn, we must ask you for the last time for the return of our dear sisters. You do not have any right to hold them in prison. They do not belong to you. Your so-called permissions are wholly false. You are hiding behind lies. The lie we need not elaborate. This was reported in the press in the case of June 14th, 1889. What you have done is quite abhorrent. Be very sure that we shall never abandon our family members. We trusted you, and you regretfully have done nothing so. The Divine Syndicate.
My voice, that's killing my voice. Oh, jeez. Woo. Had to cough after that one.
I suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
See, the debt of Miss Margaret White to Mr. Monica, rental of a suite of rooms at Oxford Street, educational scholarship at London University, credits opened at Hamilton, Renegade Tailors, Bears and Sons, and Luxury Jewelers. It's a personal loan. Gotcha. So don't talk about the loan. All right. Again, I'm just going to go down process of elimination because here we go. So much easier than wasting time. Dunn was poisoned after being trapped in the Colonial Collection room by the killer. Montague Dunn was affected by inhaling a yada yada yada. We already know that. Oh, it's down here. Disagreement. Miss White and Miss Dunn had a recent disagreement. Montague Dunn was planning to release Mrs. White from her position at Kew Gardens, which is a huge motive if you think about it. White situation. Margaret's White studies and social situation were completely dependent upon Montague Dunn's wealth. I don't know why I want to say Dune. Probably because it has that E on the end of it. It makes me want to say Dune. White studies is done. That's done. Poisoning is done. Okay, nothing else. That's it. Okay, so we have a lot to do right now, guys. Like, there's so much. No wonder this is a long one. There's just... Okay, so first of all, let's go to the nursery and find that clue, because someone had mentioned earlier that in the hallway in the nursery was the statue that we could place the thing. So this is not the hallway, so it must be either this one. Okay, so it is bust right here.
It is a bust of Montague Dunn. I am curious if the marble that we found will fit this place. Here it is. The marble fragment that we found in the Colonial Collection Room is what they have in common.
All right. So, let's hit B first. Let's take a look at this. All right, so we've got search archives for this Divine Syndicate. Any other search archives, or is that it? I think that might be it. Pressed a complaint against Kew Gardens and mentioned an old case that had been published in 1889. So we're going to head over to Baker Street. Hey, Stefan, if you don't like how I play these things, then you can just get on out of here, brother. Get on out of here. All right, so research. Well, we need newspapers, I think. Encyclopedias, newspapers. 1889. Oops, sorry. Okay, where's it at? Scandal at the Divine Syndicate. The 40th Street Castle Organization Live, Yiba device including political stuff.
Here it is. And here is the Divine Syndicate's address. Perfect.
Well,
It is
yelling at
time
the
to
chat
find out
isn't a
what
joke.
they have against Montague Dunn.
Only I can yell at the chat. Okay, so we've done that. And we actually opened up a new place. So the question is, let's go back to Kew Gardens. Then we need to head to the Divine Syndicate. Question is, I'm going to ask you guys first. Should we conduct everything at the Kew Gardens first, or should we go to the Divine Syndicate first and then come back to the Kew Gardens? What do you guys think? Let me know. Oh, we still need Toby. That's right. Okay, let's get Toby.
Come on, Toby. We have some work for you to do. Let us go to Kew Gardens.
Watch Dogs Legions. I'm going to get to those, so don't worry.
Oh dear, Toby. I wasn't aware that you were Watson's new literary...
We will be getting to those. Yeah, I do plan on finishing Watch Dogs Legions and AC Valhalla. We're gonna do a poll for the AC game that we play on Thursday, and if AC Valhalla wins, then that's the one that we'll continue with. Who's a good boy, Toby?
Let us take Toby to the laboratory. He will pick up the scent of this mysterious substance. Search, Toby. Search. Congratulations, Toby. Now let us see what you have found. This is the bottle that was used in the laboratory. It was buried here. There is still some liquid remaining in the bottle, with gold flakes. A tiny caterpillar. Not surprising to see one in a garden, but at the bottom of a bottle.
Okay, so that probably means that we need to go back to the chemistry. So let's go back, man. We're just like kind of going back and forth, I know. But you want to unlock these mysteries when you get them so that you don't forget what purpose they could be used for. I feel like if we take too long and, like, you know, forget about what mystery, you know, a few, 10 minutes ago was, then it's going to be harder, right? We knew this was going to be a pretty long case, which is turning out so. Now, this is what I'm usually really bad at, so hopefully we'll be able to get this.
Let us determine just what we have found here. Let us pour liquid from the bottle into a test tube to perform an analysis.
Pour liquid from the bottle into a test tube.
This is the bottle that we found hidden at Kew Gardens. Let us use a pipette to take a sample of the liquid and fill a test tube.
Okay, now what? Something about the Bunsen burner, I'm sure.
A colorless, water-based liquid. Quite a strong floral aroma.
Taste?
Holmes? What are you doing?
It has a bitter taste.
What if it's poisonous?
Did you ever see poison stored in enormous jars like that? Anyway, there is a doctor nearby.
So what do you think it is?
It is some kind of organic compound. Let us vaporize the liquid and see what happens. Small colorless crystals. Colorless, tiny crystals that are soluble in water, with a floral smell and a bitter taste. Watson, could you pass me that small bottle, please?
Of course. Here you are. Holmes, do you know what it is?
Wagner's reagent. There was a label on the bottle that you passed to me.
No, Holmes, I meant the bottle that we found.
Let me add the reagent and see if there is any sediment, and then I shall tell you. I need to take a pipette and make several drops of the reagent.
Huh?
Red sediment, just as I suspected. This liquid is of organic origin. It contains some alkaloid. Most likely it is unstable, and that is why there is a quantity of gold dust to prevent contamination. This mixture is probably a fertilizer. Someone was carrying out unusual experiments in the garden's laboratory.
Well, we know who that would be. Okay, so we did what we need to do. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head back to Kew Gardens. There is a lot of mystery still left to be solved here, of course. This is going to be a very long mission, probably. I mean, look at what we've done already. There's a lot of thinking. So I guess there's only one mission left from what someone said. There's only one case left. So that means next week will be the final week for our streams on Sherlock Holmes. And then after that, we will move on to a new game that we'll put in place of it for Monday. And you know, we'll have voting and stuff like that to make sure that it is what everybody wants to see. We want to keep everybody coming back, so First things first, we need to talk to a few people. We got to talk about the dialogue to Martin. Now, the thing that we don't want to make dialogue, we got to talk to someone from this. I'm not sure who needs to be talked to about the sculpture, but we need to make sure that we do not mention to the lady. Don't mention the fact that she owes a debt to him. We'll see how that plays out.
Mr. Hamish, was someone from your family connected with Kew Gardens?
Family? No.
Okay. I have no idea which one this one is. Okay, strong link with Kew Gardens. Family, no. I am the only one with a passion for botany. So we got branded flower pots, symbols on a broken pot, photograph with father, fragment from a statue, or keys for Kew Gardens. So, browse evidence. Inscription of Martin Hamish's photograph, Father and I, Kew Gardens. So it seems like that would be the one, right? That's what we're talking about here. Yep, so go with photo. Nice.
I do not think so. This photograph of you and your father at Kew Gardens suggests the opposite.
But you have no right to.
Do tell us more about your father.
He was, indeed, the greatest botanist of his time in the British Empire. He worked together with Montague Dunn until the end of his life. He brought me in at the age of 12.
Did he get on well with Mr. Dunn?
No, I couldn't say that. They expanded Kew Gardens together, that was all. And it was all my father's work, for Dunn always lived the high life.
So Mr. Dunn was not helping your father?
Oh, yes, he provided the financial support. And as far as he was concerned, that fulfilled his role. But the worst of it was, he declared himself as the master of Kew Gardens. Fame meant nothing to my father, so it was easy for Mr. Dunn to take all the credit.
Are you aware of the Divine Syndicate?
The Divine what? Is this a joke?
No, I am quite serious.
What a ridiculous name. Anyway, I have never heard of this syndicate.
There is a bust of Montague Dunn in the nursery.
A bust? Oh, that old thing.
I know what movie that is,
Further
Ozzy.
proof of that outrageous ego of his.
But why in that room in
Airplane.
Oh, I don't know.
Or actually, that would have been Airplane 2, right? Because wasn't it Roger? Roger. Well, no, was it Roger, Over, and Done, right? So it would have been Airplane 1, I think. I think they did that joke in Airplane 2. So, I don't know. It has always been there. A bust in the nursery, Albert's workplace, branded flower pots, Albert's hopes, fragment from a statue, or symbol on a broken pot. I'm guessing fragment from a statue, right? Symbol of a broken flower. No, wait. Marble fragment picked up from the floor. Over and Done is number 2. I thought that Over and Done was number 2, because Roger was 1. There's the marble picked up from the Colonial Collection Room, judging by its form. It's the statue. Then there's also the symbol of a broken flower pot. So we're talking about the bust in a nursery would have to be the fragment from the statue. Do you guys agree? Let me know. Is it the branded the? It's gotta be the fragment from the statue, right? What do you guys think? Ozzy says, yep. Because remember, we don't want to miss any of these so we can get that achievement. So that's why I want to wait to make sure that I'm not the only one that is thinking the same thing. You guys agree? Okay, cool. All right. Nice.
It is strange, because I recovered a fragment of the bust inside the Colonial Collection Room.
Really? Oh, well, so I am mistaken. It ought to have been removed during the cleanup. This room is so small.
Do you know who moved it?
I have no idea. Surely Mr. Dunn requested it. Do you have any more questions like this? Because fragments of rock are not my responsibility.
Evidently. Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
All right, there'll be none of that going on right there, Mr. Raiden, so... Did that work? There we go. All right. All right, so we've talked to him, so let's see about talking with Albert now. They do all kind of seem guilty, but I don't know. I'm still sticking with the lady. Dream of entering the Navy.
I perceive that you are passionate about the Royal Navy.
Passionate? No, not really. I like ships, that is all.
Are you quite sure? You do not seem to be so interested in plants.
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
Obviously, we're talking about... Hold on. It's not the buried chemistry flask. It's not the symbol of... It's got to be Albert's hopes. Is that... Am I right? Is it Albert's hopes? Right? Because he wanted to be the Navy, but he was denied. So... It's got to be that, right? Do you guys agree? I don't see it being anything else. That's the only one that looks even vaguely familiar. His hope was to join the Navy, but he didn't. So it's got to be Albert's hopes.
And yet I know that the Royal Naval College rejected your application.
Ah, you truly are as clever as they say. Yes, that's correct. And in fact, my father was strongly against the idea. He did his best to ruin my plans, although I almost did succeed. But my dreams were shattered, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
All right, so we should have got a new clue and a new thing here. Albert's ambition. Humiliation. Albert's motive. Adam motive to kill his father was thwarted. Albert's dream of joining the Navy, but he didn't thwart it. He was denied. Albert could have his revenge and eventually succeed in his father's place as the director. What? Okay, hold on. Albert had a motive to mess with his father. Dune had thwarted Albert's dream of joining the Royal Navy. How did he thwart it if the Navy himself just didn't want him? Albert could have his revenge and eventually succeed in his father's place, but his father wanted him to succeed in this place. He wanted him to be working there. So that doesn't make any sense to me. You see what I'm saying? That piece right there does not make a lot of sense. Okay, we got another one there too. Hamish's motive. Martin Hamish had a motive. He believed that he and his father's lives had been ruined by Dunn, who had taken the credit for all of their work. Hamish wished to take over the directorship of the Kew Gardens, but he knew that would be not possible with Dunn still alive. Now that's a motive. That's what I would consider a complete motive, right? Let's check out the other ones here. That's done. That's done. That's done. And that's done. All right. We're getting somewhere. Next up is talking to the lady, but I think we have to make sure... It said that we shouldn't. It said that we should not mention that. So that's what I'm a little afraid of, is that if we accidentally do mention it when we weren't supposed to. And what is this something of interest thing? Reserve. Have we checked the reserve? Yeah, we checked the reserve. That's the that's where we've been talking to him. I just want to make sure that I don't accidentally tell her.
Poor Mr. Montague Dunn. It is so awful.
Okay, so I think that's going to be it that we can do right here and now. Let me check. Symbol on a broken flower pot found in the backyard. The glyph means divine. I'm guessing that this symbol is who we're going to talk to at the Divine Syndicate. So let's head there. I think we're making good progress here. We're already just about 2 hours in, but I knew this was going to be a longer one, so...
This place is beautiful, Holmes. Its atmosphere is remarkably soothing.
Let us find someone who could help us.
Ooh, I love this atmosphere, yeah.
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock...
I am exalting the sap. A while can you wait? From the trace of elements and moreover from the quality of the ambient geotropism it depends. Therefore, please, mind my gravitropism. Its balance, do not disturb.
Disturbed is most definitely the word.
There. Completed is the symbiosis. Welcomed you are. To introduce myself, I shall.
Is this guy Yoda?
The Green Grand Mystic.
The Green Grand Mystic himself.
This is me. Who am I speaking to?
We are two gentlemen who are extremely interested in the vegetation philosophy that is advocated by this establishment.
Listening to you, I am.
This dude is like... This was the inspiration for Yoda. He's got fingertip calluses. Okay, but what does that have to do with really anything? Palm injury, acid burn, chemical practice. Okay.
We should like to take a look around, to immerse ourselves in the wisdom that emanates from here.
It is a school of anastomosis, the divine scholastic syndicate for vegetation veneration and meditation. You may say, the divine syndicate, glory to the eukaryotic. Only true devotees, those whose hearts are ready to spermatophize in sharing of knowledge, are permitted to physically enter our vegetable kingdom and its wisdom. And to be permitted, you must earn it. Yes.
Green Grand Mystic, we are ready to become devotees and gain access to your temple.
What is the name of our Lord, our God King?
I'm guessing it's got to be Twewin the God King. Right? Didn't we look that up? Yeah, it's got to be Twewin the God King. Right there. Is the Divine Syndicate's idol.
Our God King's name is Trewan, Green Grand Mystic.
Oh la, good, good, I like you.
Here is the holy key to the wisdom place. Holy donation can you make whenever you so wish.
Thank you so
Only
much.
donation can you make?
I pray you to taste our fertilizer substance. From the burdens of life it helps to free.
But of course.
Raw sap, it is called. It is near the entrance.
We visited Kew Gardens, and we found your symbols on their flower pots.
Coincidence, I am thinking. They would scavenge our refuse. It would not surprise me.
It was merely an observation. Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
That's very cool.
This green grand mystic fellow seems rather suspicious, Holmes. We should search every inch of this place.
Hey, you know, you could at least, like, not say it as loud as you did. Didn't he say it was something near the entrance? Or was I just thinking of that? I don't see... Let's go this way first, I guess.
Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. A fragment of a flower pot. The Kew Gardens symbol.
He's a thief! So we know that this is the guy that probably took all of the stuff.
That should be the raw sap that the Green Grand Mystic spoke of. It is rather delicious, and of an excellent quality.
My word, Holmes. Their sap is like a form of cocaine.
Oh, am I gonna get high? Am I gonna, like, start seeing some crazy stuff?
Praise the grand tree. Praise it!
This must be Trewan, the divine syndicate's god. This door is locked, but I can try to open it.
Oh man, you know how bad I am at these. Alright, let's start. Hmm. Okay, you can see this is going to take me a while. These are just quite tough to figure out. Like I said, these are always the most, for me, toughest things to figure out. Huh. All right. This is going to take me a while. Okay, so yeah, these lock puzzles are super tough. So the only thing I see there is that. Other than that, there is nothing else on that big entire thing. So that has to do something with hooking up, possibly with that right there. So then let's move on to the next centerpiece here. So we could go down there, right? You see how that kind of hooks up so far right there? Now, next, see that only works there. But then nothing else connects that. So that tells me that that's probably one that doesn't really fit. Still a lot of things that are just not matching up. Although it feels like you'd want to go there, but it's not. See, there's a piece there. See, that doesn't work because it doesn't fit the whole entire thing. And then it comes over. So none of that makes sense for that to be there because it just goes, it doesn't continue on. So this middle piece here with the yellow should not be where it is. Question is, what is there? Let's find out by this middle piece. Hold on. Here, is there anything that stretches across? No, it just goes back into itself. There is one here that stretches across. So let's say we went with that one. And then we move this over. And then we went there. So far, that could lead to something. But as you can see, there's nothing here that would lead that into anything else. Unless it fit right there. But I can't really go over anymore. Now what about the gold piece? No, not that one, sorry. The actual gold piece. There. See, that could go up. But it goes back around. Oh my god, okay, I'm so stuck on this one. Alright, Hey, Stefan, please be generous and nice to everybody. I'd appreciate it. I don't care how long this takes us. We're going to get it. Again, we could fit that into there, and that locks all of that in place. So then this whole entire thing moves as one. Try having the Z shape in the middle and go from there. So, alright, so if you're saying the middle, then that's this middle. So you're saying try having that Z shape there, okay. Possibly there. What else is not lining up? See, that almost looks good, but it doesn't look like that Z shape is going to be the key. See how nothing else is connected there? With that Z shape there, it just doesn't look like, unless I'm able to move that over, and then we can go, that could go technically in there. Doesn't really fit, no. There's a few places it can be. No. See that? And then that goes to the end. Now we're getting somewhere there, as you can totally see. But it almost matches. But see, nothing is following it there. So it can't go there because nothing is... No. What if we... Yeah, see, everything moves now. When you have that in place like that, it all moves. Ooh, this is gonna be a while, guys. They don't kid when they do this right here. See, that almost looks good. But then that one... Is there another one? Oh, that would have been so nice if that would have fit right there. So, okay, so we got the end. I'm just not seeing that. There's nothing in that hole that quite fits it. Man. See, what the thing is that we don't want ones that go back into other places, because those are the ones that aren't essentially, they're not helping us. Okay, what if we hooked that? Let's say, for instance, that one. See, I can't move that down. That doesn't help. Oh god, this is just a killer. I'm having the hardest time figuring this one out. What if we did the Z there? No, because of that gold there. Gotta move that out of the way. I don't want to hit skip, because if we hit skip, then we lose out on everything that we've been leaning up to. I don't see any pattern either. That's what... See, when everything is connected, that's what makes it tough. Let's see if we can get a middle piece first. This thing right here. Okay, so I'm seeing that piece there. So if I were to move this thing here, what is there? Okay, I see that. There's one. That's the only one. So right there, that's the only one that connects over to there. So then we can move this down. But see how that comes back over? And if you were to take this and push that, see how it just is one big... All right, so we get a line. So we get it finished, right? It goes around and it just stays there and it connects to there. We're getting somewhere. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. See how it goes around? So look from the right side. There's that line. It goes straight over, down, and we follow it up. It goes over, it goes back up, around, back over again, back there. Then it goes to the left. Then it follows that pattern there. And now the only one that we need to change is this one. Except when you do that, it changes that line up there. So we don't want that line to change. So we need that to be on that line. We need this. We need that line to be there. So now what we can do is we hopefully will be able to move this closer in some ways that a line will connect somehow, which is what I'm trying to see. Okay, so we got that line. It's moving. Got it. Oh, perseverance, baby. I knew we were getting somewhere. I knew we were getting somewhere. Oh. Never give up, folks. Never give up.
These instruments are used for smoking opium.
All right, I'm waiting for like a little. I'm waiting for Gizmo to step out of here somewhere.
This substance is an alkaloid, the same as in the bottle we found in the bushes at Kew Gardens. This cabinet is full of chemicals. They are the same as the ones we found in the laboratory at Kew Gardens. That would be enough to perform the most difficult of chemical experiments.
Why would you leave your Bunsen burner on, buddy?
A vast amount of opium.
Is that it? Is that all we found in here? I'm not seeing anything else. Let me look one more time. That's done. The table is done as well. So that's it. That's all there is in here to look. But it doesn't say that we've completed this area. There's got to be something we're missing.
You came to make a donation? Glory to Triwan!
Is there another area? Oh, I see this here. Okay.
These 3 plants are identical to the ones shown at the exhibition. I shall take them. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest. A tropical plant. A tropical plant. Caterpillars. They are raised as food for certain plants. Let's take them.
I think that's... Okay, well, let's put this together. We got deadly plants stolen. Alright, we got a new one here. Set up the experiment. Set up the alkaloid from a chemical laboratory in the caterpillars and perform the experience with the deadly plants. Alright. Anything else? We got just 3 left. Deadly plants stolen. Nope. White studies. Nope. No. Okay.
Perfect, Watson. We can begin our experiment.
But this does not say we are done searching here. I swear, usually every time it says that. Okay, a divine... Okay, so what we need to do is probably need to go talk to him. And then we'll probably be done. Because I'm not seeing anything else.
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy there.
This is tough. So this could be two ways. Branded flower pots or the symbol on a broken pot. Which one? Or the key garden symbol. It's got to be the key garden symbol, right? Right there. Key garden symbol on a flower pot found. Now that flower pot was not broken, so therefore it couldn't be the symbol on a broken pot. It could be the branding flower pots because it's the same thing as the key garden symbol. But I'm going to go with key garden symbol.
Nevertheless, we have seen Kew Gardens flower pots in your yard. How could they happen to be there?
What? Our sacred place you permitted yourself to search? Sacrilege.
No, really now. There was a theft of plants at Kew Gardens a matter of days ago, and we believe the pots we found here may be connected with it. Please tell us, were you involved?
No. Those plants were ours. They had stolen them from us.
How so?
Their director, Dump, I believe.
Done.
Yes, that's what I said. He borrowed from us 3 of our sisters for the exhibition at his greenfly-infested gardens. But he never gave them back to us. Excuses and imbecility. So we went in and saved them.
I see. So if you stole those rare plants from them, then it means... Ah, I get it. Bravo, Holmes. I think the case is solved.
No, we did not steal. We saved. Well, as a matter of fact, we were unable to find our 3 plants.
I beg your pardon. And yet you took all of the exotic plants from the stand.
They had disappeared. It was the least we could do. They stole our sisters, and so we stole theirs.
Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
All right. Sect stole everything. Divine Syndicate stole all the plants from the exhibition, including the deadly species. They could have used them in order to murder. Partial theft. The Divine Syndicate stole all the deadly plants. I think it's going to be a partial. Thanks, hon. She just dropped Nintendo off in my room because she gave him a bath, and he's all wet, getting it all over my floor, and she doesn't give 2 rats' asses about it. That's a lovely, beautiful wife right there. All right, so can we do the experiment with his thing? I think that would be pretty cool if we could use his own. Okay, we can't. We can only do an experiment, I guess, at our house. So the question I'm asking myself is, are we done here? Find out who killed, set up the aquifer chemical, find a plant that was used to kill Mr. Montague Dune. We still haven't found the plant that was used to kill him yet. So let's head to Baker Street and solve this mystery here. This has been a very, very good one, right? I'd say it's going to go to 3 hours because you guys know we like to show all the conclusions on every episode. So this is probably going to be quite a long stream. Oh, he comes back from there and look at him.
This green grand mystic fellow seems rather suspicious, Holmes. What should we do next, Holmes?
I imagine that one of these plants would be capable of releasing a toxic vapor. I need to find out exactly how it could be done. I shall begin now. Watson, if you are at all optimistic to have dinner this evening, then I'd recommend that you put on the gas mask. This is a strange and unusual plant. A carnivorous plant. A prickly plant.
Maybe this. Let's try the strange and unusual one first. What am I doing? Okay, I have no idea. What's the purpose here? There's a pin. All right, so let's stab it with a pin.
No reaction. My word! It shot a spike at me after I stabbed it with a pin. I imagined that its reaction would be ferocious if I increased the strength of my attack. It appears to have fallen inactive after being disturbed.
Just really makes you think that these plants are alive. You know, there's actually life inside these things, you know?
No reaction.
I'm trying to put back. Oh. Okay, so now what?
This plant seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars. I find the behavior of predators utterly fascinating.
Sheesh!
It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid. It closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if we agitate it to a greater extent whilst it is opened, it will reveal a little more.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. So what I have to do is I need to place the liquid first. There. Then place the caterpillar. And then maybe do the prick.
It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid. This plant seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars. It closed again. I believe I saw a small
trying to
cloud
think.
of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if we agitate it to a greater extent whilst it is opened, it will reveal a little more.
If we could use this and stab it to do its release while it's open, wouldn't that do something? So it's almost like putting these two next to each other.
My word! It shot a spike at me after I stabbed it with a pin. I imagined that its reaction would be ferocious if I increased the strength of my attack.
Okay.
It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid. This plant seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars. This plant
Really?
seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars.
So this is what I'm thinking. This is open. I want a reaction from this.
This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid. No reaction.
Because it's already open. Okay, hold on. I did the alcohol on the spike plant. The eating plant on the right, the stabbing one on the center, and the gas on the left. Huh? I'm trying to remember this, guys. All right, but everyone is telling me different things. So we all have to come together in one collective to figure this out. Gas and third replace. What do you consider the third one? I'm guessing you consider that one the third one? Are you going from right to left? 1, 2, 3? Because that's what I'm looking at it. Now it's fine. But what do we have to do? See, that covers it up.
This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid. Toxic gas with spores. Extraordinary.
Wow. Okay, that was kind of tricky. Thank you, guys. Woo.
The plants would be capable of killing only if they were directly next to the victim and stimulated at precisely the right moment.
Let us take our caterpillars to the Colonial Collection Room. We may see things more clearly there.
It is too early, Watson. Our suspects will be there. Let us investigate Kew Gardens one more time and ask some questions.
All right, so we're going to Kew Gardens one more time to ask questions. All right, so sex scheme. The Divine Syndicate left the plan at Kew Gardens in order to murder Montague Dune at a later date. Sex does not involve. Someone stole the deadly plants before the Divine Syndicate were able to. I don't know which one. Albert's lack of evidence. Albert is not very good at botany. It is doubtful that he could have learned how the plant might release their deadly spores. Albert had the biological knowledge to simulate the deadly plants. I'm going to say that one. Again, we're going to have to figure all of this out here. But I think we can do it, and there's 2 left. Which actually go together. Nice. So all clues have been, at least the ones that we found so far. White's lack of experience. The knowledge Miss White acquired at the university might not be enough to guarantee the correct reaction. White's knowledge. Miss White had the biological knowledge to stimulate the dead plants. Oh, we've already found a conclusion for White. Margaret White killed Montague Dune, her professional ambition. All right, so we've already found one conclusion. But again, I don't know if I found all of the clues yet, so we're going to leave it at that right now, and then we're going to head over to Key Gardens. We still have to find a cylinder, right? Yeah, I'm sure we probably have a conclusion on another conclusion as well. But I want to go and look at and try to bring in some more evidence before we start bringing those out, because it takes a while to get everything lined up, and I want to make sure that we do everything in a plausible way. We don't want to assume too much. There's some people to talk to. Yeah, see the objects of interest, which I still don't quite understand. Why does it say object of interest? What map do we need, though? I'm glad I could help, Gabrielle. Or Gabriel. Or Gabrielle, I'm not sure.
Can you tell me if you saw Mr. Montague Dunn on the day of his death?
Yes, of course. I met him, and we went to see Albert, his son, at around 9:30. He appeared quite calm.
What were you doing on the morning of the accident?
After paying multiple visits to Albert, I had a little talk with Miss White. Then I returned to my desk to complete some paperwork. Suddenly, I observed that Mr. Dunn was not feeling well, so I ran immediately to fetch Albert. I clearly remember that it was around 10:30, for I was late that morning.
Why wouldn't he have asked this stuff?
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
You know what I mean? Just want to make sure there's nothing else I missed that could be over here or anything. Okay. Well, I don't want to call you Gabrielle. Are you male or female? That's what I'm asking you. Because I don't want to call you the wrong.
Your father's death does seem highly suspicious. What were your movements here on that day?
Suspicious? Well, I was working in the seed house, taking care of Lysa something, or Lear Pontus, or... No, wait. Ah, these Latin names.
Okay, so Gabriel.
I spent so many hours trying to memorize them.
Did you see your father that day?
Yes. He came here with Mr. Hamish for his weekly visit. There was nothing unusual about that.
And then?
Nothing. They stepped out to the backyard. It was perhaps 20 minutes before 10 o'clock. Then about 10 minutes later, I saw my father heading for the dry tropics room while Mr. Hamish returned here.
We're getting close to the end, everyone, so leave a like on the video for us, finding these clues, getting them done. These are some... this is a really good episode. Makes you really think. So don't forget to leave a like. Again, that helps the channel. Remember, watch activity. The longer you watch videos, if you leave those videos playing on my channel when you watch them, the longer you watch them, the better chances we have of being searched. Right now, YouTube is only recommending 36% of my videos. That's it. Because it deems my videos do not have enough watch time. So in order to improve that, my watch time needs to go up. So if you're watching a video that you click on, leave it on there for a while. Either watch the whole thing or leave it on for a little bit. That is what helps the channel to be searched more by YouTube.
And Mr. Hamish and Miss White, what were they both doing that morning?
Mr. Hamish visited me a couple of times. I also saw him returning from talking with Miss White, and that was at 10 minutes past 10. But then he ran back here to me to tell me that my father was feeling unwell. We hurried across to the water lily room, and I found my father lying dead on the floor. Oh my God.
Thank you, young man.
Yes, his eyes...
We shall see you again soon.
His eyes are red because he did. It showed us in his character portrait that he cried. Which tells me that it can't be him. I mean, he seems like... the kind of guy that wouldn't want his father dead. I mean, even though his father wanted him to do this and he didn't want to. Alright, so let's head over to the vent thing first. Then we'll talk to Mrs. White. I don't know if there's anything I can do over here right now. See?
A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings.
But there's nothing we can do with it. It says it's an object of interest. That means there's something here that we can get. But we don't have it quite yet.
Can you tell me what Mr. Dunn was doing upon the day of his death?
I can, but there is nothing very special to say. I was in the laboratory when I saw Mr. Dunn heading towards me. Tuesday is the day of his weekly visit. It was supposed to be at 9, but he was 10 minutes late, as usual.
And then?
Well, he came in to say good morning. Then I saw him spend 2 or 3 minutes by the plants outside the laboratory. After that, he ran out in the direction of the nursery, where Mr. Hamish was working. He was always in a rush during the inspection, you see. I would pity anyone who stood in his way.
And that was the last time you saw him?
Yes. I stayed in the laboratory until 20 minutes to 11, when I heard the cries of Albert and Mr. Hamish from the large glass house.
I joined them as soon as I could, for I knew that something must be very wrong.
What exactly were you doing in the laboratory?
I was recording an experiment for my thesis. I only stopped my work once when Mr. Hamish visited me briefly around 10 o'clock.
You say you were recording an experiment when the tragedy occurred. Might I listen to the roll?
Certainly. Please do. You will find it in the laboratory. It is number 320.
Thank you, miss.
Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
He inhaled the spores.
When Montague Dunn was standing close by the plants, the caterpillars were released and caused the deadly spores to activate. Panicking, and likely already half asphyxiated, Montague Dunn started back and knocked over the bust. He rushed to the door, but it was locked. He had to force it open with his shoulder. We already know the outcome. Montague Dunn collapsed and died not far from the pool. Well, it is time to perform our experiment on the ventilation system.
Okay. All right, someone had said something about checking her office real quick. About a window. Even though I've already... Oh.
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system. From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room.
Well, that was it. I mean, that was all I could do there. Still don't know exactly. Maybe this is going to show me the ventilation system, how it routes through or something. You said next room? Huh?
First of all, I need to visit the Colonial Collection Room to see how those caterpillars dropped onto the deadly plants.
Yes, the voice recorder too, which that's in the office. No, the laboratory. Which one's the laboratory? Where is the laboratory? Number 3. Oh, that's it, yeah.
Here it is. Cylinder records.
These plants, classified as shrubs or grasses, have adapted to their arid environment due to a system of underground roots.
This recording seems very long. It is unnecessary to listen to all of it. Miss White was in the laboratory, as she told us.
Yeah, but it doesn't say... That has nothing to do with time. Like... You see what I mean? That has nothing to do with time. Okay, here we go. I forgot where we're supposed to do... I think it's the caterpillars in here?
The caterpillars could only fall from the ventilation duct. Our caterpillars are in place. I'll activate the ventilation system so that they fall down. Watson, stay here and observe.
All right, Holmes.
Wonder why it's telling me to look at this. It usually won't tell me. Oh, I'm going the opposite direction than I need to go.
Before starting the engine, I need... The power is on. The engine cannot be started whilst the transmission is active. The engine has started.
Oops.
The ventilation system is working.
Okay.
From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room. Excellent. This ventilation fan is working. Let us see if I can activate the other one. Perfect. Now I just need to find Watson to check the result.
It works perfectly, Holmes. Bravo. Now, if you could just help me to get rid of these caterpillars.
Perfect. Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out, by activating both Albert's and Mr. Hamish's fans.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to see when Montague Dunn entered the Colonial Collection Room.
So, whoa, that's telling me to arrest him, though. That's different. I've never seen that. I'm very, very confused. What does that mean?
Let's go to Scotland Yard.
This is still not something I can use, though. I feel like we're missing out on something. Do you think we're missing out on anything, guys? There's no more clues. There's no more evidence to suspect. Contact Lestrade in order to have Martin Hamish arrested. Why are we arresting him? Before I do that, hold on. I want to... There's got to be something else. Let's... That leads to that. You won't miss anything. It's part of the story. It's not a conclusion? Okay, alright, alright. I just want to make sure that it's not a conclusion, so we need to bring this back then. I just want to make sure I don't miss out on anything for any reason. Have I missed out on anything? Hey, what's up, Mustache boy? I tell you what, this has been a doozy. Was that the lab making the voice recording, right? Doesn't that room have a... Oh, now you're making me want to check. Well, I can't catch everything when I'm trying to figure stuff out. I'm looking between two different screens here. But let me look in here first. This is what you're talking about, right? Or are you talking about in her office? In here?
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system. We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window.
This is why they're saying it's him, right? No, the room next where are only plants. Right here. This is the room where there's only plants, right? The nursery. And the reason that they said they were going to go with him was because of this right here. Follows into there. So did we miss out on an outcome with the syndication or something? We now can't see syndicate, and why? Why would it keep us from being able to see the syndicate thing? Where is the syndicate options? Here we go. But we need another one. We can't use this. Oh. hell? So are you telling me that we missed out on something because we found every clue? Without this, we would be able to do it, but with that, we can't. Partial theft. See, it leads back to Hainish. It seems like everything is leading to the arrest of Martin Hainish, but I don't want... And because, yeah... Yep, you can't. That totally sucks. I'm so sorry, guys, man. I hate missing out on stuff, but I don't think that they should... If you find all the clues, you should be able to come up with different whatever. I mean, I don't like the fact that it limits you once you find every clue. So we're just going to have to go with this. We're going to have to rush him. You said change Albert Luck? Hold on. Where? Albert's lack of experience there is what you're talking about. Do you see that? We can't... There's no other thing with the... that we can change. And with that there, we can't do the Albert's studies. See? No, it doesn't change anything. We had Albert's motive up, White's lack of experience. No, that doesn't change anything. Yeah, see? That sucks. Did he quote, "You found all the clues, make your deductions appear"? I haven't had anything that said I found... There are no clues available at this moment. Continue the investigation. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and turn that back to what we need it to be on for the arrest. Hold on, I'm trying to get it back to the other one. What was it? Partial theft. There it is. Okay, let's just go ahead and move on with this. I hate the fact that I could have possibly missed out on a conclusion. And that pisses me off because once you get all clues, you should have all conclusions that you can come up with on your own. You know what I mean? And that does piss me off there because every single one that we've done, we've never missed. We have found all clues in every mission, so there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to make everything unlockable because we found everything. But if you don't find all clues, if you decide to quit, you lose out on one of the things, and I'm not a fan on that. And they never did that before, so I don't know why they decided to do it now.
Inspector, I believe that Martin Hamish is guilty of the murder of
But I
Montague
don't.
Dunn.
Aha! I knew it. I'll send the lads around to arrest him.
Very good. I shall wait to hear from you.
This is not the right answer. I think it's the girl. I think she's the one that had the most motive. That's why I'm like, I don't like me being forced to pick this one right now. But I'm guessing we're going to interrogate him, and then it's going to open up some more clues, possibly.
Inspector, I came here as quickly as I could.
Martin Hamish is in the large glass house. There's no need to hurry.
I'm guessing he killed himself. Oh, see.
Holmes, my God!
Yes, we found him like that.
Our messing around with the ventilation system didn't go unnoticed. Mr. Hamish realized that we knew.
Inspector, could you arrange the body, please? I should like to examine it.
Well, this is the reserve. Okay, there it is.
The mark around the neck is very visible. He died instantly.
Life has become a living hell. I find it unbearable. Dunn deserved to die, but I cannot forgive myself for having his blood upon my hands. We Hamishes seem to have always fallen victim to our circumstance, and I find myself to be no exception. I must atone, and I shall do so here and now. Farewell.
Bullshit. I don't agree with it.
Holmes, his left shoe is unique. This anomaly is often a characteristic of...
A club foot. Bravo, Watson. That is the key element of this case.
A club foot is the key element?
What should we do next, Holmes?
Something about this rings very oddly.
Why do you say that, Mr. Holmes?
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot. Oh, I deserve to be kicked from here to Charing Cross. I should have noticed it.
But, Mr. Holmes, I can't see why.
No, I don't suppose you do. You must recall that Mr. Dunn was locked inside the Colonial Collection Room by the murderer. If it was Mr. Hamish, he would have had to run up to his workplace to trigger the fan situated above it, taking into consideration the condition of his foot.
Well, it is still possible.
Perhaps, but it is rather strange that such a person as Mr. Hamish decided to base his plan on the speed of his gait.
You mean to say that somebody helped him?
So the suicide is questionable?
Correct. Mr. Hamish accuses only himself in his letter, and so the investigation stops.
Possibly an accomplice, then? That idea had not occurred to me, Mr. Holmes.
I have another idea, Inspector. Thanks to the testimony that we have collected, we are able to rebuild the events as they took place that day.
With a timeline, such as we did in the Jack the Ripper case.
Precisely.
The map at the entrance of Kew Gardens should help us with our timeline.
Let us analyze the facts and statements so that we may recreate the events of that morning.
Ozzy, if it allowed me to continue, that means there was no clue that I missed there. Because it would have made me keep going if there was another clue. It always plays out all clues before it continues the thing. Okay, so let's do this. We got to do a timeline here. Oh, God. Martin Hanish and Morgan's Dune went to meet Albert in the Seed House at around 9:30. So let's look at the times. So 9:30, 10 o'clock. So the 9 is before. 10:30, 10. It was around 22 minutes to 10. So this one is first. Martin, Hamish, and Montague Dunn went to meet Albert. I'm so confused. What's this mean, though? Oh, this is going to be so hard. Okay, I don't know which one to... where to put this at. Well, it forced it to go there. Yeah, see? No, you can put it there. Why is it only let me... Why is it... It's always putting everything on him. Oh, I see what you're saying. Green goes to green. So that would have to be there. It was around 22 minutes to 10 when Hamish and Montague went out to the backyard. Montague, Dune, and Hamish go into the backyard. It was around 20 minutes to 10. It was after 10 minutes, Dunn recommended his inspection and entered the dry topics room. So at 9:50... Martin Hamish had a conversation with Miss White at 10 o'clock. Miss White was in the laboratory until 10:40. When she saw Hamish and Albert in the Waterley greenhouse and joined them there at 10:40. Hamish ran to Albert as soon as he observed that Montague was unwell, which was around 10:30. Albert was in the Seed House the entire morning. He observed Hamish returning from visiting Mrs. White's at 10 minutes past 10. Right? That's got to be it then, right? Martin Hamish returns to the Seed House. I don't see anything else. 9:50. And then the last one, Martin Hamish returns after talking with Miss White. When is this one? This is the one that we need to figure out right here. Well, there's only one left, so it would have to be right here, right? 10:20? Because it can't be 10:10. Unless nothing happens at 10:20. Although she says 10:10, so we'll give her the benefit of the doubts, and then we'll play the events and see what happens.
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room, which is quite enough time. Miss White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the door. More than enough time. Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
All right. White is an accomplice. So we've got two now. Margot White was Martin Hamish's accomplice in the... So we've figured out two so far. And if you look at the conclusions, we've got 1 and 2. We got that she did it, and then we got that she's an accomplice. So I think we have all evidence. You have found and utilized all clues. Bees proceed to the deduction space and form the conclusions. So what that tells me is that now everything is here. So this is where we have to start moving pieces around to get the different ones that we can do. So, let's start this. So we've got White as an accomplice. We've already got that other one as well. Let's see if we can try to do anything with Albert. Okay, there's Albert is an accomplice. All right. Let's see, Albert had time. White is not involved. Albert's lack of experience. Nope, let's go Albert's studies. Okay. But Hamish's opportunity. We're missing, I feel like we're missing a clue there. She has the opportunity there too. We can only get 50%? I just don't understand that. If you get every single clue, how could you only get 50% of the different conclusions? That doesn't make any sense to me when everyone is saying that. I don't like that. But we need to figure out where we can set these other clues, because I know we can do at least more than 2, right? So I'm trying to figure this out. How can we do this? So let's say if we wanted it to be Albert alone. He was poisoned. Yeah, this opportunity ruins like everything, and you can't turn it off. Albert is an accomplice. I think we already had that. I got White. White is an accomplice. Albert is an accomplice. Yeah, I've got 3 so far. You can't Albert alone and White alone and sync. So is this all I have? Like, is this it? I can only do White. White is an accomplice, or Albert is an accomplice. So clearly, I think it's White. But the question is she an accomplice or is she not? I'm tending to think that that maybe she's by herself. Unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to be able to find all 3 because we did things right. So because we waited until every clue is out before we started the deduction of what we were doing, we can no longer get every single conclusion, and I'm not a fan of that. If you do what you're supposed to do and you get all of the clues and then you deduce everything, you should be able to have every conclusion laid out for you. Yeah. You're saying that Albert is the one? We're going to start with Albert is an accomplice first. We're going to look at all the conclusions that we have, like we always do. We'll start with condemned, and then we'll go absolve. I really like this case, but I don't like the fact that it keeps you from having conclusions because you find every clue. The only way you can get those other conclusions is if you don't find every clue first. You know what I'm saying? Instead of looking at it the way that I am. Yeah, you need to unravel each piece,
What happened, Inspector?
part of the time instead of
all
waiting
over
until the
now,
end and
lad.
putting them all together.
There is no use denying it. We know that you murdered your father. Patricide by plant poisoning. Very alliterative.
What? You're mad. I didn't do it. I don't know anything about botany. No!
Okay, and as you can clearly see, if you hold it back, that is not true. We found all the clues, and it says red, so that tells us it's not true. So we're going to choose another ending. When I finally eventually do a walkthrough of the PC version, I will have every single conclusion. I've been doing every single conclusion, but this is the first mission that it's kept me from being able to do it. And that's really, ugh. Man, that just, I don't know, it pisses me off. I know it shouldn't, but in the previous 4 cases, it never did that. It always allowed you to have all the clues laid out in front of you, and then you piece them together. I prefer to wait until all the clues are there, because so many things are being thrown at me in different directions that I don't want to put them all together until the end, until I have every little piece and then put it into the pie. But the fact that it makes it to where you can only, you need to do a little bit at a time so that you come up with something, or else you'll completely miss out on that once you find another clue. You know, I'm not a fan of that. Oh wait, we didn't do the, hold on, sorry. We got to do the other one, which is the absolve. I still don't think it's him. I'm leaning towards the female. Clearly, he wasn't him. It just said it wasn't. He was not an accomplice. So that should tell you right there that it wasn't him.
It was Albert who assisted Martin Hamish with the murder of his father, Montague Dunn, an act of desperation to end years of misery and humiliation.
Poor boy. You're right, Holmes. He was also a victim. He'll live the rest of his life with the death of his father on his conscience.
And that is enough. The case is closed, Watson. We can say officially that Martin Hamish acted alone.
And as you can see, that is not right. Okay, Charles, thank you for letting us know. I've never been to a Kew Gardens. Well, I mean, I've never been over in England. So I've always wanted to go to England. I would always love to see what England is like, but I don't think I'm ever going to get the chance to go. I mean, I've been all over the world being deployed and being in the military, but I just don't think I'll ever get a chance to really go to England. Would be cool one day. So can you not do Hamish is guilty by himself? Can you not do that? I mean, again, there's the white is the accomplice. So we'll choose that one next. You can. There are two. Hold on. Hamish alone. I don't have a Hamish alone. I only have White killed Dune alone. So let me see if I can find out how Hamish is guilty alone. Albert is not involved. White had time. White is not involved. There we go. Hamish did it alone. So now we have 4. So we were able to finally get 4. So now we got 4, see? So the 2 that we missed out are the syndicate and Albert alone, right? Is that what you're telling me? Let's take a look at the Hamish did it alone one first. And we'll do the Glory to Lestrade. I wonder if I'm missing out on an achievement because we weren't able to get the other 3. And I wonder how many people that pissed off if you're not able to get the achievement because of that.
Inspector, the case can be closed. Martin Hamish operated alone. He was meticulous in his planning, down to the smallest detail. And yet, we arrived at the truth.
Well, I must thank you once again, Mr. Holmes. Without you, it would not have been possible.
If pushing a man to his suicide seems fair to you, Lestrade, then we are even.
Mr. Holmes, you did what was needed
to not appear in this inquiry. I thank you for your discretion, Lestrade.
And we know that that's not right. Hamish did it alone is incorrect. So the reason I say is because are we going to miss out on an achievement? Because that would suck if we do, man. I wanted to get this 100%. Been doing everything 100% so far. I wanted to keep it going. Yeah, there's an achievement for finding all conclusions, which means that we don't get to do it. Such a shame. Keep those likes coming. We're almost at the end, everybody. And again, thank you all for being here. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll remember to go piece by piece next time.
Inspector, the case can be closed. Martin Hamish operated alone. He was meticulous in his planning, down to the smallest detail. And yet, we arrived at the truth.
Well, I must thank you once again, Mr.
Without me, you would have escaped all the criticism and blame that no doubt you will be subjected to.
I know, Mr. Holmes, that you did what was needed
to solve a case once again. I thank you for your discretion, Lestrade.
That didn't really change that much. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. I'm gonna again. I think it's her that did it alone, but I don't know. Either she did it alone or she was part an accomplice. One or the other. We never got to talk to her about that. Her being, you know. Why wouldn't you mention that? I mean, to me, it makes sense that you would mention it, but. We'll go with condemn first.
But Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
It is obvious, Watson. Just use your brain.
I am using it. I do use it.
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hamish, Miss White must act to erase all traces of her implication. After the suicide of her accomplice, there is one final trace remaining: the deadly plants of the Divine Syndicate. She will be there.
Very good. Shall we go?
Just one moment. Now listen to me, Watson. I shall see her alone. You will conceal yourself behind her, quietly.
Whatever are you planning?
Nothing spectacular. The impulses of women have always been a mystery to me, but she is a bold one, and so we must be cautious.
All right. You can count on me, Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
You do not seem surprised, Miss White.
Well, I was expecting you.
Not for too long, I believe. So please tell me, as it is still unclear, who planned the murder? Was it you?
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a more prominent role.
You could not be further from the truth.
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
It is difficult to care about someone who is capable of pushing a man to his suicide. It is over, Miss White. The police will be here any minute.
Over, perhaps. One moment you were here, and the next, you were on the other side.
The other side? No! Stop! I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
Oh, God. Well, that's one possible conclusion.
This is tragic, Holmes.
Are you able to do anything?
I'm afraid not. The poison has been fulgurating. Her heart stopped.
Thanks, Invisible.
Instantly,
Glad to see you here, bud. All right. There you go. White as an accomplice is actually the conclusion, I guess. But we were saving this for the other ones, so let me actually... Obviously, that's not going to be our final one. So we want to get all of the different ones that we can. So we didn't hit the button that time. Let's go over to the white is the only one and see what that does. So I guess she is the accomplice, and the other guy actually did do it too. Very interesting. I thought it was just her, but I'm gonna go to the other one real quick. It won't let me do it. It won't let me do this. What? But it's right here. So you can't even choose it. Man. I guess that is the right one. Well, here we go. I knew she was involved somehow. For some reason, I thought she would be the one. There is no other 2 slots. This is the last one we can do. And we did... The Absolve one. Miss White is a desperate woman in debt, resigned to consorting with wealthy gentlemen. When Dunn cast her aside, she killed him in desperation. Honest tried to save her. She deserves a second chance. What do you guys think, man? Here's the thing. If I want the achievement, I've got to go with Absolve. Right? I have to, because if you pick the same one every single time, then you'll get the achievement for it. So, yeah. So we're going to go with the Absolve. And we're actually going to save her this time. We'll probably get an achievement for saving her too, I'm sure.
But Holmes, how can you be
It is obvious.
I am you.
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hay, after the suicide of her accomplice, there is one final trick.
Very good. Shall we go?
Just one
I wonder
moment.
why none of them said
Listen to me,
she
Watson.
killed
I shall see
the
her
accomplice.
alone. You will conceal yourself.
Whatever.
Nothing spectacular.
All right. You can
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
You do not seem so...
Well, I was
Not for too long. So please tell me, as it is still unclear, who planned the murder?
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a more prominent role.
You could not be further from the truth.
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
I am not blaming you, Miss White. You are a young and brilliant woman, trapped in a dull and hostile world. Life has never been easy, men in particular.
You... It is hopeless.
Indeed. Well, it may be true that I cannot yet change the world, but I can spare your life.
My life. There is nothing left to save. I have lost everything. Do you hear me? Everything! And you were just like all the others. You would abuse and take advantage of a vulnerable woman.
I hardly think so. Now just listen to me.
I've tried so hard, but I have had enough.
Miss White, no! I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
It'd be so easy to stop her as Watson right now. Just go up
Stop
to her and
this
stop her.
foolishness.
I mean, it would be so
You
easy.
cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
That was weak. Slapped her hand.
Well done, Watson. She was not faking.
Miss White, you have no right to take your own life.
Dr. Watson? Did you just save me? Or worse?
All right, there you go. So that was the correct one, and that's the whole purpose, is we at least get the correct one. But there you have it. We have completed everyone that we could. Again, there was 3 of them I guess we missed out on because we decided to wait to get all of the conclusions at the end. So if you're doing this case, this case particularly, go step by step. Get every little evidence you can the moment you do it and put it together. Don't wait until the end and then put it all together. If you do so, then you're screwing yourself over for the other different ones. Now, granted, those are incorrect, but there is an achievement for getting every single conclusion. We didn't miss any clues. As you can see, clues found. 22 out of 22. So I'm not sure what you see. You might want to get a new prescription of glasses there, my friend. But I digress. So we found all the clues. We just didn't get the other, conclusions, even though they're wrong, period, so it doesn't matter. But we did it. We're going to accept this decision, and we will continue on next time. We have a big heart. That's our ranking right now. So it's all right. We did a good job. And next week will, I guess, be the final mission, if I'm not mistaken. That's what some people had said. I don't know how many missions completely that there are. But next week will be the next one. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. And it's been my pleasure to bring this game to you. Thank you. I know it can be boring in some parts, but it's fun trying to figure this stuff out with you guys, even if I get a little upset for the fact that I missed out on some stuff just because I would rather wait till every bit of evidence is there since before. So let me go over the spiel again. If you want to become a Patreon, there's the link in the chat. It's also in the description. Join our Discord. It's free. You can just talk to the community and be a part of this great community that we have. It's a place where you can play games with other people, where you can just conversate and just feel like you're a part of something. You can subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Leave a like before you leave. It really, really helps the channel. We got 2 tips today. We got 1 super chat, and we also got 1 actual tip donation via PayPal. So thank you to both of you for those. It means a lot. We're still trying to get some new members, so if anyone out there that wants to become a member, click on that join button. For as low as $2, you can help us continue to keep this stream alive of doing this. We're going to be streaming 6 days a week for the foreseeable future, and hopefully we can keep that up and get this channel back to its glory days. Once some new games start to come out, then we'll finally be able to stream some new stuff and get back into the new games and stuff. So that's going to be fun. So other than that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everybody for helping out. You guys are awesome for always continuing to be in here and kind of being my guiding wings. I'm not very good at puzzles sometimes. Clearly with those lock key things were really tough to figure out. But yep, tomorrow's stream, if you're watching this live now, is going to be obviously Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. So love you all. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out. Bye, guys.